Morning, Richland County. It is 9:30 in the morning, and the Richland County Board of Commissioners is now in session. On Thursday, May 29th. We are joined in the chambers with myself, Cliff Mears, Tony Vero. Commissioner is off on family activities. Daryl Banks, fellow commissioner, is here. Stacy Crawler, clerk. Andrew Keller, county commissioner. We're also joined by Barrett Thomas, Economic Development in Richland Chamber, and we're also joined from a Richland source, 50 Shades of Hayden Gray.
Wow, you stayed up all night thinking of that.
Just the curve. And online, anybody else?
No.
Okay.
Much more famous than me.
With that, we have an addition to our published agenda. I'd like to have Barrett talk about an initiative, infrastructure initiative and expansion, just north of Mansfield. Take it away.
Thank you very much. Appreciate the opportunity to come here. Thanks for rescheduling this, making this work, Stacy. The mayor wanted to join us, but the scheduling didn't work out. So I am here on behalf of the city of Mansfield. I guess it matters which personality I'm coming with. So today it's the city. The city is working on an infrastructure project, which I'm going to show you kind of the structure of what we have now. So there are two main water lines in the city that go north. So the kind of older original line is going up Main Street 13 and comes up to about Baird Parkway, which is right in here. And then the other line is coming up Bowman and goes through here. This is Airport West. And this is what we call the Arrow site, which is what the city is working on getting site control of. So those are where the water lines are now. And the city has invested some ARPA money and some of their own general fund money to get a bunch of engineers involved to say, what happens if we complete this water loop and connect this water line to this water line and connect those. So it would connect like up around the airport. So it would do a couple of really important things. It would increase capacity on both sides because you can feed with water from both sides and give us additional capacity. How much additional capacity? There's an engineering study working on that. Cost an enormous amount of money to come up with that answer. It's shocking, but I should have been an engineer, but I washed out of engineering school and now I do business. So this is way easier. So we've got another engineering firm, EMH&T, working on the actual engineering of how to put this water line in here, where it goes, what that design is. So it will bring additional capacity and redundancy. So that's key for a lot of these businesses that are in the industrial park and specifically the 179th. So the 179th, as everyone knows, has had a change in mission. So as a cyberspace mission, they are going to build a data center that they didn't have before with a flying mission. And critical there is power and water. So we've seen this before. We're working, the city is working with 179th to get that power extended. I think they're going to be critical in kind of getting the 179th over the hump there. But the water is critical in the water reliability. So that water main that goes up 13 has been around for a long time. And occasionally there are water main breaks in the city of Mansfield.
I've heard of that.
It's a rumor. So this will help bring redundancy so that there is always a consistent supply of water that will cover the 179th. It will also open up like additional, it's going to give us additional capacity here. There's a lot of capacity there now, but it will give us more, which as we do industrial projects, that gets for certain types of companies that water capacity is super critical. There was I think an Italian beverage manufacturer that did an RFI that went through Jobs Ohio recently. And they needed like 1.5 million gallons of water a day, something like that. I probably shouldn't say that on the record. Those are round numbers that I'm estimating. I don't know if that was actually what the project was. But a beverage manufacturer, they need a lot of water capacity. So if someone takes 1.5 million gallons of capacity off that line, we're left with not enough to do the business attraction that we're looking for. Although that beverage manufacturer would be great. So this will give us additional capacity. It will also open up land further north that we have never had utility access to. So we've never been able to market that land and do any industrial development there. So this will open up hundreds of acres. There are different ways to count this, but I mean, we're probably looking at an additional 500 acres of land that could be developed with this water loop. So with that goes a wastewater line. So where that wastewater line goes and how much of it can be gravity fed, and where the terrain tips and you need to get a lift station to push it uphill so that it flows downhill. All of that stuff the engineers are going to figure out. There's also potentially some road work as we've got a project that's interested in being on that north end of the city, and they will need access to all these utilities. So we're trying to do this partly to support the 179th, partly to support additional capacity at the Airport West and Aero sites, and partly to open up additional land north of the city where we've got an interested developer. So all of those things can happen with this water sewer extension.
I would imagine that when water lines dead end, the quality of the water deteriorates towards the end. So looping it together would also increase the quality of the water.
Yes,
So two separate and distinct lines, they're currently capped at each.
correct. Yes. And they're big water mains. I mean, it's fantastic infrastructure that's in the ground, especially on that Bowman side. That's a very large line that has a lot of capacity.
And that's probably a newer line, right?
But it's newer, yeah. So.
Okay.
So those are the things that we're trying to achieve with this project. We are looking at a bunch of different funding sources for this. So
Next question.
currently what we're looking at is the All Ohio Future Fund. That is a fund created at the state level to support infrastructure projects to get ready sites for projects. That is going through some uncertainty at the state level, the current budget process, and the city of Mansfield would like to get an application in to that future fund and get on the list, demonstrating need for the program and to ideally get in line for some funding if that's available. So part of that application is having support from a broad base of stakeholders, and the commissioners are certainly one of them.
So at this time, there's no request for county money, correct?
Correct. So I'm trying to go round up as much available. And so this is an expensive project. So we don't have final engineering yet, but in the neighborhood of $15 million.
And the timing would be what if you're able to get this grant?
Well, so the engineers are still working on the design. We've got the eastern portion of it designed, and then they need to kind of figure the rest of it out. And there are some questions about how that will work. So Bob Bianchi would be the best person to ask about timing of when that will be finished. And then, well, I don't want to answer a construction timeline. That's not a thing I should answer.
We have a letter of recommendation and support of this program and wanting to get the grant. And if that will help, I'd make a motion that we sign the letter and get it to whoever you're recommending go to. And it's a great project that we're talking about, not only jobs security for the jobs that are already out there. A lot of good things can come from this.
Anything for the potential of economic growth is a good thing. And I will second that motion.
Ayers,
Yes.
Commissioner Banks.
Yes.
Aye, you'll sign that letter. It's just one signature.
Okay.
Copy of that.
Give it to Barrett.
Okay.
Thank you very much. And the mayor also extends her thanks.
Thank you.
Makes sense.
Hayden, did you have any questions for Barry?
I can explain it thoroughly. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks. See you guys.
Moving on to our regular agenda items, could I have a motion to certify the record for May 27th, 2025?
Make that motion.
Mears,
Yes,
Commissioner Banks,
Yes,
can I have a motion to approve requisitions?
so move.
Second,
Mears,
yes,
Commissioner Banks,
Yes,
could I have a motion to approve month-end transfers and appropriations?
so move.
Seconded,
Mears,
yes.
Commissioner Banks,
Yes,
Request to accept the resignation from a Dayspring employee, so could I have a motion for that?
yes. And you would be eligible to return, as I understand the letter. If she'd ever want to apply again.
And second,
Commissioner Mears,
yes.
Commissioner Banks,
Yes,
I have a request from the engineer's office to authorize advertising for Noble Road resurfacing, which is 0.391 miles. An estimated cost of $313,498. I'd like to just make all these one motion if we could. 2025 CCAP, which is the cold constructed asphalt pavement. 10.47 miles, estimated cost is $700,518.50. And the third request for advertising is a 2025 asphalt resurfacing of 3.022 miles. An estimated cost of $542,963.75.
I will make the motion.
And I'll second that.
Commissioner Mears,
Yes.
Commissioner Banks,
Yes,
I have motion to authorize a clerical job posting for CSEA. It would be a clerical specialist. To start June 2nd, 2025 through June 8th. She like to advertise from June 2nd through June 18th, 2025. More detail behind that. It was actually $15 an hour. Clerical specialist 2. Can I have that motion?
can have that motion. I'll make it.
And I'll second it.
Commissioner Mears,
Yes.
Banks,
Yes,
And we've got the motion for the a review of the dashboard camera use. Should we do that now? It's at the end of the agenda.
I had it on so that what Michelle would be,
Michelle should be.
Shall it be here?
yeah,
Okay.
questions.
Well, then, any questions, Hayden? We will 9:44 stand in recess until 10 o'clock in the morning. Where we'll have an executive session for the discipline of a public employee.
So I visited the Carpenters Union
Yeah, how'd that go?
facility in Richfield.
We still are on the record of
Hold on.
Together.
No.
It is 10 o'clock. The Richland County Board of Commissioners is back in session. We're joined by Lori Bedson with JFS and Kelly Christensen from HR. And I'd like get a motion to go into executive session to discuss the discipline employee.
So move.
Unseconded.
Commissioner Mears,
Yes.
Commissioner Banks.
Yes. Oh,
I know.
It is 10:15. The Richland County Board of Commissioners is back in session and out of executive session. I have a motion to terminate a probationary employee at Job and Family Services effective immediately
I'll make that motion.
and second it.
Commissioner Mears,
Yes.
Commissioner Banks.
Yes.
Okay. Oh, 10:15 and 16. Guess we can bring Michelle in.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
I'm gonna say you all,
Michelle.
you two have a good day, and I forgot to wear my maroon.
Right? Yeah, sorry, we didn't call you last night.
Lori. We're now joined by Michelle Swank, Director of Dayspring. And to go back into executive session for the purpose of discipline of a public employee
Yes.
and second it.
Commissioner Mears, Commissioner Banks.
Yes.
It is 10:29 in the morning, and the Richland County Board of Commissioners is out of executive session, back in regular session. And I'd like to ask for a motion for a 5-day suspension or a 5th tardy violation for a Dayspring employee.
So move.
Unseconded.
And
Oh, and a second employee for a Group 2, number 7 violation, and that would be for a 1-day suspension. Separate motions.
One, if you're okay with that.
I'm okay with that. I'll amend my motion to include that one.
Mr. Mears,
Yes.
Commissioner Banks.
Yes.
Is there any other business to come before the Board of Commissioners at this time?
Yes.
Prove that dashboard camera.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So talk to us about this, Michelle.
Few weeks ago, I can't remember at this point, maybe even a month ago, I came and asked the board's permission to install dash cameras in the Dayspring vehicles. It'll also include a GPS tracking system. It was brought to my attention by a concerned employee that while he was in a Dayspring vehicle, that he could be accused of cutting someone off or having somebody back into him or whatever the circumstance might be, that he has seen people on TikTok and Facebook, other people. Stand in front of you, hit the brakes, and of course so he was very concerned because he drives quite a bit. So I looked into it. The cost was doable for Dayspring. And then I brought it after discussing it with Andrew and then Jenny. Then I brought it to you and you guys approved it. And Kelly and Andrew believe that we needed to have a policy for it. They drafted it and it's now being submitted to you guys so that you can approve it.
Do you have any questions about the policy, Daryl?
Do either one of you want to comment on the policy?
no, it was pretty straightforward, just covered the bases that we need to as far as the course and scope. It'll be treated like a work rule as far as dissemination to employees. Straightforward.
What I had was the retention of data from this, the cameras. On it,
They are actually not saved in the cloud. And I believe the amount of time that it is saved is 3 months. The way that I see it is that if there is a situation or a problem, I will know pretty quickly. So after a week or two's time, to me, it becomes one of those after you only keep it while it's necessary. That's listed somewhere in the retention for other items and things for Dayspring. You keep it until it's administratively not needed anymore. So you pay for it to be in the cloud for how many months? I will probably only need it within the first month.
Is there a cap on the data that you're allowed for free? And then after that, it's a fee? I know in Google, you have to pay for additional storage if you have more.
I believe it'll,
Stored in Verizon's cloud?
yes. So if I needed it, I can access it within those 90 days. And then if I needed it, I will download it and then save it.
Right, but if there's, let's say, a lot of driving in those 90 days and you have a lot of data stored, is there a cap on the amount
He
of?
did not mention anything about a cap.
Okay, so we assume there is none.
No.
Michelle, just a couple things. Obviously, we're talking about both video recording records, but we're also talking about GPS tracking data, which would be record. I would just encourage you to double check your records retention statement. Sure, that information, those records are clearly accounted for. Because if they're not, you'll want to add them to your RC2. Yeah, if they're not presently on your RC2, then it's permanent retention, which I know you don't want. I wouldn't either for those records, nor would it probably even be possible for video data to be stored permanently. So just from a public record standpoint, if they're not accounted for in your record series, you'll want to add them. And if we need to call a special records commission meeting, we can do it.
Okay, so this would be any video data.
I mean, if you have, you have to look at the description, records description.
Okay, I will go and check that out when I get back to Bay Spring.
The GPS, I'm assuming that's
I'm sure I don't have anything like that.
exist, well, yeah, okay.
So are you saying the GPS data is not recorded? If somebody,
It's not in a retention plan.
Yeah, it wouldn't be already in my retention because there was never, I don't even think we had the ability to even do that back then when it was created and done. So unless it would, but Andrew's saying it has to be very specific and deep.
Yeah, and the GPS, is it true? I'm assuming, Michelle, in this case, that the GPS data is saved somewhere. The
Yes.
route is saved.
Yes.
So that's a record, you know, and if we look at it, maybe we'll see a record description that we think encompasses it.
Okay,
But if not, you know, we can just add a couple.
and I will be emailing you later.
I'll be anticipating with bated breath.
And the policy, although it makes a brief reference to retention, it does not specify intentionally because we just say whatever is required per records retention policy.
So I guess the county itself doesn't. You know what, I'll just email you.
Do you have my email?
Oh, yes.
Well, I will make a motion that we adopt this policy for the cameras in the vehicles at Day Spring.
and I will second it.
Commissioner Mears?
Yes,
Commissioner Banks?
Yes.
okay. Is there any further business to come before the Board of Commissioners at 10:36 in the morning? Hearing none, we stand adjourned.